Hey guys, Dragon Ball for Life here today, and I'm back with another video. Now, today's video, I'm going to be reacting to another YouTuber called Saiyan Scholar. I have seen quite a bit of his videos personally. Some of his videos I enjoy, but other ones I don't really like. I think he's kind of a big GT fanboy, and sometimes he complains too much about, the past of Dragon Ball, like saying he's made multiple videos like, look at how they did what they did to Super Saiyan. Super Saiyan is not important anymore. It's like, well, no shit. If the guys are gonna get stronger and fight stronger opponents, they can't just stick with one transformation. That's stupid. Think about it logically. Like I get it, you love Super Saiyan. Super Saiyan is a great transformation, but if they were to just stick on Super Saiyan, it would be very stale after a while. It's like, okay, so they keep on just using Super Saiyan, and it's not as cool. So I don't agree with him on a lot of stuff, but that doesn't mean I'm just gonna automatically disagree with him. So let's check out his video on Super Saiyan God is ridiculous. He's, I guess, power scaling Super Saiyan God Goku. Yep. That's right there.
Important note, I'm going to take you through the entire manga series of Super and show you how strong everybody gets since the end of the Buu saga. Right now, this is the manga only. I'm not using anything from the anime yet, but I will start the anime scale for Super once the manga one is complete. Also, I'm not using anything from the movies. I'm using the established basics that I've used for the rest of my scaling in Z and GT, which include domination multipliers, which are official and have been portrayed in a large part of Dragon Ball Z to Gauge.
Okay, so first talking about that, he's been using the manga. The manga one's a lot weaker than the anime. If you guys have read the manga from the beginning, I really haven't. I've only started looking more at the manga from, I think, the Moral arc. And definitely the Granola arc. The Granola arc is the one I followed the most, but prior to that, I hadn't really saw it. I did see some stuff here and there, but from what I've seen, the power scaling on the manga, some people say it's better written and stuff. Personally, I think the power scaling on manga is far, worse. I think it's, it's weird because the anime is very bad, the power scaling, but I think the manga is somehow even worse than the manga. The anime and the power scaling the manga, they're far, far weaker and less impressive than the anime. And this is not even common. It's not uncommon because if you go back to Dragon Ball Z time and you compare the Dragon Ball Z manga to the Dragon Ball Z anime, the Dragon Ball Z anime had more impressive feats and crazier stuff happening in that than in the manga. Obviously, a lot of the stuff was filler, and the reason it was filler is they're trying to stretch out the episodes, so they added on additional stuff to put more to it. Whereas the manga itself was more cut and dry and took out a lot of stuff, and it took out a lot of the feats, which personally that's one of the reasons I don't really like the manga that much, because a lot of the most coolest feats that we see in Dragon Ball are not even the manga. So if you use the manga Goku's feats, which a lot of people say you should use the manga instead of the anime, if you use that, you're gonna get a far weaker Goku. So yeah, even in Z, manga Goku was weaker than Z, anime Goku. Though I will say the anime Goku sometimes had, inconsistencies with the power scale, and some of the feats in the filler didn't make sense. Like Krillin hurting Goku with a rock, that was pure filler, it made no sense. And then we had other stuff, but it's like whatever. But yeah, that was, even though that one was more closer written, they did have different level of power. But this manga is completely different than the anime, so the level of power should be far significantly, different. This domination multiplier, it seems kind of very low, 1.25 times. I've made a video talking about the Super Saiyan transformations, why I think the multipliers are a lot higher, but I don't see a problem with what he's saying here, though I do think it's kind of stupid to think that somebody only being 2 times stronger, they should be much more powerful than you. It doesn't make sense. It makes sense for us humans, but these guys are beings that, are way beyond that.
How much a fighter can overwhelm an opponent. I'll also be using official guide multipliers. But other than that, 99%
my multipliers are different than that, but
will be just what we see in the manga itself, because there are no official guide multipliers for Super Saiyan God onwards. The Dragon Ball Super manga is far more broken than you ever imagined. There are certain power jumps that even happen because of the plot, just like GT, but I will do my best in explaining these jumps. We're going to keep,
but nowhere near the level of the anime. The anime went way crazier.
From what we see.
This one's like way weaker.
Scale, Buu Saga base Goku equals 1. If you want to work out how much stronger someone is compared to Super Saiyan 3 Goku versus Kid Buu, just divide any answer in this power scale by 400, as that's the Super Saiyan 3 multiplier, and Kid Buu was similar in raw power to Super Saiyan 3 Goku. But because I'm a nice guy, I'll calculate how strong key characters are from Kid Buu. But remember, this is not a power level scale. This is just a good old-fashioned raw power scale. And you'll understand why I'm trying to keep the numbers as low as possible.
Yeah, when I ever look for videos for like power scaling videos, usually they give me power level videos, which I don't like. I don't give a shit about power levels. Here's the thing, at this point in time, power levels are very irrelevant. I get it back all the way, when the Saiyan Saga came out and the Frieza Saga, but past that, we shouldn't be caring about power levels anymore. I've seen people in debates use literally power levels in arguments, and the moment I see that, I'm just like, I'm not saying that you don't know what you're talking about, but I can't really take your argument seriously. I have to refute it because now you're using power levels, and power levels are very wonky after a while. I mean, I would say they made sense consistently through there, but Toriyama dropped it for a reason because one, it made it too obvious who would win in a fight, and two, it is, it's unreasonable to try to quantify how strong a person is through power, through that. So yeah, when I see it, it's like I always look for power scale, and for some reason people are stupid and think power scale and power levels are the same thing. They're not. I've heard the same repetitive joke about, the DBZA one where they're like, oh, power levels are bullshit when somebody's talking about power scaling. Like, no, power scaling is not the same as power levels, you dumbass. Power levels is literally a numerical value that is given to a character saying, oh, they're this millions of, their power level is this many or a million or that. But power scaling is comparing one character to another's feats. So that is purely on feats and statements. Another one just on numerical value. So they're not the same thing, but I always see that all the time.
Dragon Ball Super gets ridiculous. We're starting with the Battle of God Saga.
Sorry for that, I had to put my laptop in charge.
And all we get in terms of time skips in the manga is that some time has passed.
Which is dumb. I love how the anime actually gives some time.
Cell, and then about to fight Buu. Buu, it was not concluded in his mind, and the mental image training doesn't really hold any weight. But Goku implies he's been training since Buu, so his power goes up a tier by 1.25 times.
I do think it's ridiculous. Some people might point this out saying these tier stuff might be just BS because it's its own, system they put. But I think it's fair for him to say that, he got a quarter stronger than, the end of the Buu Saga. So, yeah, I can see him that way, but I think it's not too ridiculous what he's saying.
Anyone wondering why 1.25? Like I said, I work with domination multipliers. If you're 1.25 times stronger than the opponent, you can start to overwhelm them, meaning you're a tier above them. But if you're 2 times stronger, you can tank them unharmed. And that's backed up with official material in the Daizenshu.
Let me see. A technique where the key can create a barrier around themselves, guarding against their opponent's attacks. It can guard a key attacks and also physical attacks as missiles. What's more, Vegito used it to successfully avoid being absorbed by Buu. Okay, physical attacks. The made a key. Cell took over that infinite energy generator. He could use it as well. He could also understand how Vegeta would be best in the universe from key and some techniques. However, it seems the technique cannot guard against attacks from those with ki far stronger than their own. That does not, no offense to him, but that does not, reading it, I just skimmed through some of the parts because I don't need to read the whole thing, but reading that didn't prove his argument at all. His argument is you have to be 2 times stronger. It never mentioned how much stronger and you have to be to deflect somebody's attack. It just says you have to have you have a far stronger key than can defend against it. Obviously, it wouldn't be like a barrier that can protect against any and all damage. But yeah, that doesn't prove his point that it means that if you have 2 times that you can deflect somebody's attack.
Twice the power to negate attacks.
It never said twice anywhere.
It's also proven in the Saiyan and Frieza sagas with power differences. So I think domination multipliers are reasonable.
I'm not saying this multiplier thing is wrong, but that argument didn't have what he's saying.
How much stronger someone has got, or any way to gauge it, then we go with a 1.25 times increase because it applies at least some growth. Never underestimate 1.25 times. Anyway, Goku arrives on King Kai's planet and only just starts training before Beerus arrives, so no additional growth there. Beerus absolutely wastes Super Saiyan 3 Goku. So right
500
now,
Super Saiyan 3 Battle of
Super
okay?
Saiyan 3 Goku in the Buu Saga is 400. Super Saiyan 3 Goku in Battle of Gods is 500.
So you got
unknown.
You got
I'm
100.
not going to guess any levels of power unless we can gauge them reliably or to something. So Beerus will be a question mark for a while, especially with how Dragon Ball Super works. And
Okay,
just so you
reasonable.
know, in the manga, there is absolutely no dialogue about fusion not being enough to take on Beerus. So we will not be using any of that as a gauge for the manga. Goku literally...
Oh, okay, that is true. That's one of the reasons why I don't think the manga is that powerful, because they don't have more impressive statements and feats that we see. And he's going to explain another one, I think, later on, which I do know about, and we will talk about when we get to it. But even if he didn't make that statement, it's obvious that Vegito couldn't beat him, because you can see throughout the manga's progression on the fight that they have, between Beerus, and how big of a discrepancy of power there is, that logically, if he did use fusion, he wouldn't be able to beat him. So yeah.
He gets up and goes straight to Earth. But what we do have is Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks and then Gohan in his fighting gi with the Ultimate Gohan.
Also, they didn't
But
have
because
Super Saiyan 3
some
Gotenks
time
versus
passed
Beerus
since
in the
Buu Saga,
anime.
not
It was just
knowing
Super
if it's
Saiyan, which is
months
weird.
or even years, it's unknown exactly the power difference in both. Or even with Good Buu, there's not enough reliable information to suggest Gohan, Trunks, and Goten continue training after Buu's defeat. And suggesting all of them are weaker or stronger since the Buu Saga with no evidence of training would be unreliable. There's no information to prove
Agree.
either way, so we will keep Gotenks and Gohan as they are in the Buu Saga. Definitely check out my Dragon Ball Z power scale. It'll help you understand where they are in terms of scaling. But I've extracted that scale and put it into this one. Ultimate Gohan is 61 times stronger than Super Saiyan 3 Goku and Kid Buu, making him 24,400.
Here's the thing. I haven't seen his other one. I will probably make a reaction video to that. But hearing that Ultimate Gohan is 61 times stronger than Super Saiyan 3 Goku, not just Goku in general, but Super Saiyan 3 Goku, I can't buy that. Like I said, I haven't seen the other video, what his arguments for that was, and his, multiplier and scaling for that. But to suggest that Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks is that much stronger than Goku, and Ultimate Gohan is that much stronger than Goku, obviously those two characters are stronger than him, but to that significant of a degree, I highly doubt it. 61 times is a ridiculous amount to be more powerful than somebody, and it's even more ridiculous the fact that if that was the case, then what's the thing called? Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks was that much stronger, then how come Goku and Vegeta were able to take quite a bit of damage? Obviously, they weren't able to beat Super Buu, but they were able to take quite a bit of damage, and Super Buu was either equivalent to Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks or a little bit stronger than him. So, if they were around that level of power, then how would Goku and Vegeta be able to handle him at all? They should have been instantly obliterated. And if Gohan was that much more powerful, remember, Super Buu absorbed Gotenks in them, and he absorbed Gohan. And guess what? He was beating up Super Saiyan 3 Goku and Super Saiyan 2 Vegeta, and he was whooping their ass, but he could instantly evaporate them. If he was that much more powerful than them, where he's 61 times more powerful than them, one hit, him even being suppressed, we've seen how Beerus was suppressed and took him out with a flick of a finger. So if he was suppressed, even a punch should have killed him, but he took way more damage. And Super Buu, even though Buuhan was playing with him, at some points he was trying to kill him, and he was able to take it, so I highly doubt it.
16,000. Again, the Dragon Ball Z power scale has it all. Now,
I still have to check it out before I
the
make any
Dragon
more
Ball Super manga is actually
assessment about it.
Vegeta
But still.
after Bulma got hit by Beerus. Goku and Vegeta's base forms are relatively the same, and it's always suggested Vegeta continues to train. But here, Vegeta enrages and reaches a new level of Super Saiyan 2 power. The highest power we've had so far is Ultimate Gohan, who has failed against Beerus, so the only reasonable level we can put Vegeta at is a tier above Gohan, so that would narrow down any big headcanon guesses. So Vegeta literally got over 200 times stronger from this power jump. And this
Yeah, also that. The whole him saying Gohan is 61 times stronger, so he's like, oh, well, he's stronger than Ultimate Gohan and stuff, so he should be like this much times stronger. like I said, I haven't seen that one, so I don't know how he got 61 times stronger. But also saying Vegeta got 200 times stronger just by getting angry, I can't buy that. I'm sorry, I just really can't buy that. The fact that this guy got 200 times stronger that way is like, come on. Like I said, his one even also is like going 61 times stronger. You're telling me that Vegeta was he's 61 times stronger than Super Saiyan 3 Goku, and Vegeta was 200 times stronger than that. So that means he was still considerably way stronger. I'm not gonna do the math. It was at least over 100 times stronger than Mr. Gohan. It just doesn't make really much sense to me. I think it's a little bit of overreach.
Manga, the strongest Z fighter. It's up to you whether you think Vegeta keeps the power he unlocked through his rage. You would have to prove he loses the power.
I think he would.
Because there are many instances
I think he would keep
in
it.
the Dragon Ball series where fighters achieve a new level of power through rage, or take power from others and make it their own. Dragon Ball Z was huge for power-ups through rage. And apart from Gohan when he was young and didn't know how to control his rage, every other instance of rage, Super Saiyan 2, the rage unlocks power and they keep the power. So based on that,
makes
I see
sense.
Vegeta's rage a trigger to unlocking more of his own potential than it being a temporary attack. And that would make sense because it's rare to see Vegeta in this emotional state. It's a new trigger for him. Super Saiyan 2 Vegeta with his new power in Battle of Gods, 30,500. So how strong is Super Saiyan God in the manga? Well, first of all, because this is the manga, we don't have the same valuable ways to gauge it like in the anime. We don't have a failed Super Saiyan God ritual either, or statements like Goku's power is the highest in history. We don't have fusion won't be enough. What we have instead is Goku referring to Super Saiyan God as a whole new world just opened up to him. We don't have the same situation with the shockwaves related to one more punch means everything is destroyed. We only see Goku and Beerus clash with each other, and the old Kai saying the shockwaves are reaching them, causing no immediate damage there. But he does go on to say, at this rate, the universe will be destroyed. Now, at this rate is quite broad. We don't know how long Goku and Beerus have been fighting for, or how long it's going to take for the universe to be destroyed. The anime...
I do want to say before he goes on, yeah, right there, he didn't mention it. This was us talking about the shockwave stuff. It wasn't really as... You do see the shockwaves going around, and he, like he said, he mentioned the universe getting destroyed at a time, but there was a definitive explanation on how much in Battle of the anime. The anime said 3 punches, and the third one would have wiped it out, and then the energy attack itself alone would have done that. And so there's a specific statement there, but that one in the manga they left it broad and stuff. They do want to implement the fact that the universe would be in danger, but they don't want to specifically say like to what degree. And the problem that a lot of people might use for an argument would be, well, that statement has been used all the way back in Dragon Ball Z where they said this guy can be a threat to the universe, which, yeah, that I can see that. But in this case, they're saying their fight is a threat to the universe. But even with that being said, I still think that the anime ones is far more powerful than the manga. The manga, their entire fight would have done it at some point. Whereas this one, just 3 clashes from their fist colliding would do that, which is significantly way more powerful. And is why I would say, you know, the manga is far weaker. So if you're going to compare manga Goku to anime Goku, just know manga Goku is going to be far, far significantly weaker than anime. And I'm not talking about what's happened after the anime's been finished with, you know, the Moro arc and the Granola arc, because we don't know how the anime will handle it, and we don't even know if the anime even will go to that thing, if they're gonna even do that in the first place. But yeah, it's way weaker. Also, I want to state this specifically: a lot of people use the manga and the anime simultaneously when it comes to power scaling, and that does not work. I'm sorry, it does not work. If you want to use the Moro arc and the Granola arc, that's fine for the anime because that's the best we can use because, you know, we don't have the anime for that. But for the arcs that were done in the anime, like, you know, the Battle of Gods arc, the Resurrection of F arc, Universe 6 vs 7, and the Tournament of Power, and Goku Black arc, you can't use both of their stuff because it contradicts with each other. A lot of the forms that are present in the manga are not in the anime, and a lot of the ones in the anime are not present in the manga. A lot of the power scaling and shit, you know, it contradicts each other. It goes in different directions. So I've seen people use both of their feats, and I'm just like, it doesn't work. It contradicts each other. The power system works differently. The way they handle the story is different. It might have a lot of similarities, but there's significant differences when it comes to the power scaling. So if you see anybody using both of them in an argument, just know that their argument is not going to be very sound.
Anime locks onto it very well and says literally the next punch will destroy everything. Here in the manga, it's their battle as a whole that will.
Sorry for that. That's my
destroy
stomach
the
growling.
entire
I'm kind of.
universe, not
I'm
their
dieting
specific
right now.
third punch. Now, of course, the feat in itself is incredible, but at this rate, it's quite loose. And if you go with the whole, how many solar systems in a galaxy, how many galaxies in a universe, how many dimensions in Universe 7, etc., then multiply base Goku by this amount, then this amount. I've done it that way before, mainly for the anime, because you've got more to play with in terms of the dialogue and the situation.
See, that's what I like what he said right there, and he's right. There's more you can use from the anime than the manga. The manga, that's one of the big problems. They leave a lot of the crazy feats out, so it's like we don't even know if they got that much stronger or how much stronger they got, unless we do some other way of doing it. Also, if you want to know how many stuff, there's 100 billion stars in our own galaxy, and there's 2 trillion galaxies in the universe, and most other galaxies have around 100 billion stars, maybe 200 billion, 300 billion, or less than that. But it's around those ranges, and it equates out to, I think, from what I did, it was like 8 octillion. I would think it was like 300 octillion stars, and not every star has a planetary system, so not all of them are solar systems. Some of them are just solo stars, but majority of them would be. So yeah, I get where he's coming from in that regard.
Manga, at this rate, not so much to play with. The manga's dialogue can be interpreted differently and messes with everyone's numbers going with which way you calculate it. So, in the manga, I'm gauging the officially unknown Super Saiyan God power narratively, combined with number scaling from the previous strongest fighter and comparing it to the whole new world of power dialogue, which I think is the best way to gauge it for the manga. So the last big level of power in Dragon Ball that we know is Vegito. A reliable fusion multiplier I've used in the past.
It's funny to me that he said, this guy literally said that, oh, we can't use the fusion multiplier stuff because, you know, the statement was never made. And I did make the argument that even if the statement wasn't made, you can still use it because of showing. But now he's using it because of another statement just saying, open a whole new world of power, which is just funny to me. I'm not saying he's wrong, but I'm just saying he said we are not going to use it, but then he used it anyway. I don't know why he just said that in the first place. But let's look at the multiplier for that. I always thought the fusion multiplier was insane, and I liked how ridiculous it was. So it's the best of A and the best of B. I didn't know that. I thought it was just, you know, A plus B then times 100. I didn't know it was best of A, best of B. So basically it would mean Goku's power level or power at Super Saiyan 3 and Vegeta's power at Super Saiyan 2. Add that together. So basically add Super Saiyan 2 Vegeta to Super Saiyan 3 Goku, like all their feats, strength, speed, durability, all that together. Then you times that by 100, which is ridiculous if you think about it, because if you add Goku, Super Saiyan 3 Goku and Super Saiyan 2 Vegeta and all their feats and they're able to accomplish, add them together and then times that by 100, that's a ridiculous level of power boost. And for you to be being above that, you know, to be past that fusion level, that means you would be even more ridiculously powerful.
That combines multiple source material because there's so much on fusion, but after combining it all and working out a happy medium, the best fusion multiplier is the strongest of A plus the strongest of B, then multiply that amount by 100.
Which is crazy.
In Buu Saga Vegito's case, it would be Super Saiyan 3 Goku plus Super Saiyan 2 Vegeta, then times 100. The reason why I've included Super Saiyan 3 Vegito here is because when Goku was part of Vegito, he would be aware of what he could do and what he was holding back. It's reasonable to suggest Vegito had Super Saiyan 3, especially when Gotenks has Super Saiyan 3. Goku understands the power magnification of Super Saiyan 3, and therefore Goku would have been aware of that world of power within Vegito. A rough estimation anyway. Now for Super Saiyan God to be a new world of power above Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta...
I 100% agree with that. When you Goku in the anime, when he stated, oh, even fusion wouldn't beat him, I didn't assume that Super Saiyan Vegito, because that was the highest form of power that we saw in the Buu Saga. But the only reason he used that is because he really didn't need Super Saiyan 3. That would have been overkill and not necessary. Though I would have actually loved to see Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta. We've seen, Super Saiyan Blue Vegito, Super Saiyan Blue Gogeta, Super Saiyan, just Super Saiyan regular. We haven't seen Super Saiyan 2 or Super Saiyan 3 or Super Saiyan God, which I think would be very amazing to see, to be honest. But yeah, whenever he said that, I always would just go with Super Saiyan 3 Vegito, because if Gotenks can do it, then so can Vegito. And he would have if he's against a more powerful opponent. There's no reason that he wouldn't use his most powerful form transformation when he's fused against Beerus. Why would he use one of his lower ones to beat him? So it's safe to assume that when he means it, he's talking about Super Saiyan 3. So maxed out power of Vegito cannot even compare to Beerus, which is ridiculous. The other one, the multipliers, they showed Super Saiyan, just Super Saiyan, Vegito is really powerful as shit.
Vegito, it would have to be able to dominate Super Saiyan.
Super Saiyan 3, 20 million.
So to dominate a theoretical Buu Saga Vegito, Super Saiyan God would have to be at bare minimum 2 times Super Saiyan 3 Vegito, making it 40 million. A 32 million multiplier from base form is an insane upgrade of a multiplier compared to the previous.
So basically what he's saying is Super Saiyan 3 Vegito's power would be 20 million times more powerful than, base Goku and Vegeta, or Goku, and Super Saiyan God would be 40 million times, and 32 million times would be for, Super Saiyan God Goku compared to base Goku in Battle of the Gods. That's ridiculous power scaling. Even going by the manga, like I said, the manga is significantly weaker than the anime. Even going by the manga standards, it's insane. So can you imagine how big the power boost is with, the anime's one? That means the Super Saiyan God transformation, the multiplier was ridiculous. I mean, look at the other ones. Super Saiyan alone was the highest. It was 50 times. And then we had Super Saiyan 2, which was 2, and then Super Saiyan 3 was 4. I already made a video talking about it. I think it's higher than that. I think Super Saiyan 2 is 100, and Super Saiyan 3 is 400. But even those are still completely low compared to a multiplier of 32 million. The transformation is 32 million times more powerful than base. That is insane. Like I said, these guys get really ridiculously powerful, and people don't want to accept it. I get why. Seeing a character getting that many more, like millions of times more powerful, or a billion times more powerful, it does sound like a reach, but that's what was shown.
Base form Super Saiyan 3's 400 times base form. You may think 2 times another power, in this case Super Saiyan 3 Vegito, is not a whole new world of power, and you could argue that, but you also shouldn't underestimate 2 times stronger, and the ability to tank attacks unharmed. Anything above 2 times Super Saiyan 3 Vegito for the manga is amplified headcanon, but at least 2 times is the minimal amount of headcanon to calculate a form.
Yeah, at least it's reasonable. Some people overdo it, the headcanon, and make it ridiculous.
Through guides or dialogue. So I go with 2 times Super Saiyan 3 Vegito, and nobody would ever want to mess with Super Saiyan 3 Vegito. In terms of Beerus, how strong is he here? Well, we don't know his full power at this point. We only see a performance in which he handles Goku and is able to overwhelm him. In fact, Goku hardly gains any ground on him and is exhausted, and Beerus is laughing. So
and this is a suppressed Beerus who's playing with him too.
Performance in the manga didn't reach 2 times Super Saiyan God Goku, so 1.5 times Goku.
So he's saying Beerus suppresses 60 million times stronger than base Goku in Battle of Gods, base Goku, and Super Saiyan God is 40 million. So that means he has 20. That means that Beerus has 20 million more on Goku, on Super Saiyan God Goku, and then he said the 88 and 70. Okay, for yourself, but yeah, that's ridiculous. Think about it. Beerus is 60 million times stronger than that, and 20 million times more than 20 million more times than Super Saiyan God, and this is him still suppressed. This is not even his full power, and Goku gets even more stronger, and it's just crazy how far they went with the power.
Beerus is 60 million. Beerus uses a Sphere of Destruction. Goku uses his Kamehameha, which overpowers the Sphere. Kamehameha is a 2x2 boost. The Sphere is 1.25 times weaker at minimum to get defeated by the Kamehameha. The obviously suppressed Sphere that Beerus used is a 1.2 times boost in this case. Whis steps in and jokingly says, "This battle is undecided," but it's quite clear. Goku is hammered. Beerus is laughing, standing tall. This is a hint to a future contest, as Beerus sees potential in Goku. Beerus mentions people are out there stronger than Goku can ever.
But we're never ever going to see
We
them
don't
because
know
apparently we don't
exactly
get that.
what Beerus is referring to and if he's comparing his own power. So for now, we will hold back until we get more information. And that's it for Battle of Gods. This power scale for Battle of Gods ends with base Vegeta being 244 times stronger than Goku due to Goku getting no evidential base power.
Yeah,
Whereas
I don't believe that he's 244 times stronger, and I don't believe that Gohan was 61 times stronger, because that would mean that Vegeta got that much more stronger than even, Mystic Gohan, which you put it way higher above Goku.
did. However, Goku is far stronger at max power due to the Super Saiyan God transformation. Insane. But fear not, in the next arc, the base levels between Goku...
Sorry if you guys missed some of what he said. My recording reached its time limit. So basically, yeah, he's talking about this Saiyan Beyond God thing was in the, Dragon Ball Z Resurrection of F manga, which is separate than the, Dragon Ball Super manga, but it was also present in the anime itself, too. It was not just in the movie and the manga, it was also in the anime. The only source that does not incorporate it or outright state it is the Dragon Ball Super manga.
That we are analysing. So Saiyan Beyond God doesn't exist in Dragon Ball Super, the manga. Also, the pamphlet for Dragon Ball Z Resurrection F about godlike power without changing form, it's for Dragon Ball Z Resurrection F, the movie, not Dragon Ball Super. That's important to know.
Not Dragon Ball Super, the manga.
Power level of Super Saiyan God Goku in Battle of Gods in the manga. Just know that in my Dragon Ball Z Power Level series, I had Buu Saga base Goku.
I don't care about power
So
level.
for every 11 Goku, God Goku is 100.
Okay, before I get into this, the whole, Goku not absorbing the God form in his base and stuff in the manga stuff, there's a couple of things to say about that. One, people still say that in the anime that's not the case, even though they literally stated with Beerus. It's just the manga that it wasn't officially stated that. Two, the way they handled that situation, I know a lot of people have their own thoughts on it. There's a lot of people that say that Dragon Ball Super, the anime's power scaling is bad, and it's due to the fact that the Goku and Vegeta had their godly forms into the base, basically making their base forms, universal level and stuff. And this makes the story ridiculous, because now if you have a character struggling, beating up or giving base Goku a challenge, even if it's their base, that would mean the character would have to be universal level. And for them to, handle a Super Saiyan above that, that would mean they would be even higher than that. But in the manga, their base and stuff doesn't get the power. They only get that power boost when they go to Super Saiyan God. Basically meaning that their base form, Super Saiyan 1, 2, and 3, have regular power stats with the additional strength they got. And they only get those universal level of powers when they go Super Saiyan God and Super Saiyan Blue. So people say that it was better that they didn't, do the Super Saiyan Beyond God thing. Personally, I don't agree with that. I get where you're coming from. You're saying the power scaling is ridiculous and how they handle it. But I felt like they could have done it in a smart and strategic way. They just didn't want to do the effort to do so. I think they could have simply done it where, you have key reserves and godly key reserves. Now the key reserves is, just how their normal power was, just normally getting stronger without the godly power. Now the godly power is when they get to the universal levels, and they won't need to go specifically to Super Saiyan God. It's just it makes it stronger. Also, I do want to state this, that though the Super Saiyan God transformation has a high multiplier, I don't think that multiplier is like that throughout all of Dragon Ball Super. What I mean is, the first time when Goku went Super Saiyan God, the initial multiplier was, I do think it was in the millions of times more powerful. But I think after the first time, and in the anime, not talking about the manga, but in the anime, after the first time using that transformation, that multiplier that happened got absorbed into their base, so now their base got multiplied by that much, and now they stack on the other Super Saiyan transformation on top of it. But I think that after the first time, now Super Saiyan God in the anime, not the manga, in the anime, the multiplier should not be that high. What I mean is, a lot of people will assume that, so he got dozens of millions of times stronger, okay? So that means now his base is dozens of millions of times stronger, and it would make him, universal in base, right? Then you stack 1, 2, and 3, you get times 50, times 2, times 4, and then Super Saiyan God gives another dozens of millions on top of it, and then Super Saiyan Blue. I don't agree with that. I don't think they get another dozens of millions of times. I think the initial time they went, the multiplier was that big, but then after they absorbed it in the base, and they can go back to Super Saiyan God, I think the power of the multiplier must have decreased significantly. I don't know to which extent, so I'm not going to say it, but I would say that it was significantly. I don't think it's in dozens of millions anymore. I think that was just the initial one to get their bases, on par. Because if that was the case, then they would be way too powerful in the Super Saiyan God in blue form, which we've seen that they're definitely more powerful, but not that significantly more powerful. So don't assume that you can stack millions on top of millions. I wouldn't go that far. But yeah, I just wanted to say that.
Because of how much stronger Super
Oh yeah,
Saiyan.
also I want to say, how do you guys feel about the manga handling it? What do you think handled it better, the anime or the manga? Do you think the manga made the right choice by having the multiplier and the insane power boost only happen when they go Super Saiyan God, and Super Saiyan base, Super Saiyan 1, 2, and 3 have just normal progression of power, and they get to universal levels in God and then blue? Or do you like the way the anime did it, where they incorporated that base and amplified the power scaling even more? Personally, I like the other one more because, like I said, I'm a power scaler and I like to see these characters get more powerful, and if we're going by the manga, they're going to be a lot more weaker. But I do get why some might not like it. The writing is very bad, but I think you can handle it in a better way. So let's get into this.
God Goku, Beerus, and Vegeta are compared to Super Saiyan 3 Goku versus Kid Buu. Super Saiyan God Goku is 100,000 times stronger than Kid Buu. The suppressed Beerus we see in the Battle of Gods manga is 150,000 times stronger.
Now, when you use the base form instead of the Super Saiyan, the Super Saiyan 3 form instead of the base form, the multiplier doesn't seem that ridiculous. It's still pretty ridiculous. Getting 100,000 times stronger and 150,000 times stronger in a single movie is a crazy jump. 150 for Beerus and 100,000 for Goku is a ridiculous jump. But just remember how powerful they got significantly, what they went through, and achieving a godly form to obtain that level of power to do so anyway. So that's just crazy. That it sounds less crazy, at least when it's hundreds of thousands compared to Super Saiyan 3, than 40 or 20 million. Like, that's crazy. But here's the thing for that. Sorry, whatever, I forgot. It doesn't matter.
Stronger than Kid Buu, and Vegeta's new Super Saiyan 2 power is 76 times stronger than Kid Buu versus
At least that's a little more normal.
Coming up next, the Resurrection F and Universe.
So that's it for this video. That was quite interesting. There's quite a bit of interesting concepts in that and stuff I wanted to talk about. I don't fully agree with everything he said in this video. There are some stuff that I disagree with, but I think as a whole it is a very decently well-written video, and it makes a lot of sense, so I think it's a really good one, to be honest. I have to definitely check out the Dragon Ball Z power scaling one before I go on again next time, because like I said, some of the stuff that he used in this was from that, and I haven't seen that, so I can't fully go and say everything he said was wrong, but a lot of it I do agree with. I just think they have some interesting concepts in this. But yeah, them getting that more powerful is crazy. If you think about the anime and how much more powerful they have gotten, just looking based off the feat wise, the fact that they're threatening the macrocosm, not just the universe, the macrocosm, so that's above that. Death Battle says 9 times universal. I don't know if that is the case, but that's what they equated to. But think about it now. What was the most impressive feat, or how much destructive power did they have all the way back in the Buu Saga? The Buu Saga, I would put them at high multi soul system level plus. Basically, dozens of they'll be able to wipe out dozens of solar systems. Not galaxy level, but dozens of solar systems. So now you went from being able to wipe out dozens of solar systems to wipe out multiple universes. That power discrepancy is infinitely bigger, which I could make a video separately talking about that more in depth. But I think this video's gone for quite a bit, so that's gonna be it for this video, guys. I hope you guys enjoy. I'm gonna be making more content on power scaling and stuff like that, and how powerful these guys get another time. So stay tuned for that, and see you guys next time. Shit, this thing.